Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, February the 5th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, shares are poised to rise this morning on the local market with ASX futures up around 0.6%. This follows a sharp fall at the close of yesterday's session as China retaliated with its own targeted tariffs in response to the imposition of US tariffs on Chinese goods. However, optimism for a trade breakthrough between the US and China buoyed investors on Wall Street, lifting the major indices higher, with President Trump having delayed tariffs for Canada and Mexico. China announced a wide range of measures targeting US businesses, including Google, despite the fact that its search engine is blocked in China. A 10% tariff has also been placed on imports of US farm equipment that could impact firms such as Caterpillar and Deere, and on electric trucks imported from the US that could apply to Tesla's Cybertruck. Biotech firm Illumina is also a target, while shares of PVH Corporation, the holding company for brands such as Calvin Klein, fell after China placed the companies on its unreliable entity list. In earnings results, Alphabet reported after the bell, sending its shares down around 6% after it missed quarterly revenue estimates despite a 30% increase in cloud revenue, led by growth in its AI solutions. Palantir shares surged after the data analytics company forecast first quarter and annual revenue above estimates. PepsiCo fell as it forecast annual profit below expectations and missed quarterly revenue estimates. Estee Lauder shares plummeted, with the cosmetics company posting a weak quarter. Merck also fell, saying it would pause shipments of Gardasil to China, as weak demand for the HPV vaccine there is expected to hurt the company's revenue. And PayPal fell heavily after the digital payments giant's operating margin shrank in the fourth quarter. Well, China is also targeting US coal, oil and gas exports, which could benefit Australian energy producers. However, more broadly, a slowdown in Chinese demand from US tariffs could affect the Australian economy. China's tariffs on US imports will not take effect until next Monday, giving Washington and Beijing time to try to seek a deal, although a planned phone call between President Trump and President Xi is now off. Trump has said he may increase tariffs on China further unless Beijing stem the flow of fentanyl into the US. However, China says that's America's problem and is challenging the tariffs at the World Trade Organization. Meanwhile, EU trade chief said he wanted early talks with the United States to ward off potential tariffs, saying, "We believe through constructive engagement and discussion we can resolve this problem." Meanwhile, FOMC member Austin Goolsbee has said the Fed should be more cautious in cutting rates due to the risk of tariffs, saying, "Now we've got to be a little more careful and more prudent of how fast rates can come down because there are risks that inflation is about to start kicking back up again." In the latest US data, job openings in December rose 4.5%, which was less than forecast, while factory orders in December fell 0.9%, slightly more than expected. The US 2-year Treasury yield has fallen to 4.21%, the 10-year down to 4.52%. And the US dollar has edged lower as President Trump's tariff threats were interpreted as a negotiating tactic rather than an end goal. The Aussie dollar, seen as a liquid proxy for the Chinese yuan, rose around 0.5% to currently at 62.6, well above yesterday's low of 60.8, which was its weakest in almost 5 years. And Bitcoin has fallen back below 100,000, currently trading around $97,000. Oil prices are mixed in response to the tit-for-tat trade measures playing out globally. Brent crude futures up slightly at $76 a barrel. Copper's up more than 1%. Iron ore around 0.5% higher at $105 a tonne. And gold is up more than 1% to another record at $2,843 an ounce, driven by investors seeking a safe haven asset amidst the developing trade war. Among the companies reporting results locally today, Amcor, Argosy Minerals, BWP Trust, Centuria Office REIT and Pinnacle Investment Management. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.